All right, everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of the PigSkin podcast. Again, my name is Dalton. This is Sebastian. In this episode, we're going to cover NFL Week 6. We're going to give out our dick picks, and we're going to start off by covering a few of our favorite and the games we're most excited for college football Week 7. Sebastian, you want to kick it off with your thoughts on Oregon and Washington?
Mm. This might be game of the year, potentially.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you thinking?
I mean, I definitely think it has all the makings to be. Oregon's got a powerful offense. Michael Penix and the boys at Washington are just as powerful, if not more. Both of these teams are capable of scoring 100 on any given night. But yeah, I mean, I think this is the Pac-12 championship preview, much like OU Texas was for the Big 12 last weekend. I think these two teams, this is not the last that they see of each other. So, and definitely, I think one of these two teams will make the playoffs this year.
I think so too, honestly. Well, let me ask you this: who's got the better defense?
Oregon.
Okay, just making sure you have the football brain.
Yeah, no, Dan Lanning he's got them boys playing pretty all right. They're not exactly world beaters. You know, they're not Georgia, they're not Penn State, they're not Michigan, not OU. But I mean, they're playing pretty well. I'd say best defense in the Pac-12 is probably Oregon State or Utah, if we're being like honest here. But I mean, Oregon's pretty good. You know, they're not USC, but they're not Oregon State. So I think it's going to be a really tough physical matchup. There's going to be a lot of passing yards in this game. I mean, through 6 games, Michael Penix is at 1,999 yards. Dude's ridiculous. I believe both teams are coming off a bye. Oregon's got the beautiful eggshell uniforms playing in Seattle. The only thing that might throw this game off, rain is expected in the Seattle, Washington area this weekend. So Washington's currently favored by 3. Over-under is 66. Depending on what the weather forecast looks like, might take the under in that game, but I still think Washington's going to win, and I think they're going to cover.
Okay, here's my thoughts.
Yeah.
You want to hear something crazy?
I do.
I have not watched a single Washington game this season.
It's not too crazy. I mean,
So I don't really have like a big. I watched Oregon play a couple of games. Yeah. Obviously, the Colorado game, that was really the big one. Bucky Irving's the running back for the team. Name to watch out for. Football name. Probably an NFL running back football name, if you ask me. Colorado's defense isn't that great, so obviously he looked really good. Bo Nix. So, like, it was between him and Spencer Rattler as, like, the top 2 quarterbacks, like, in their class. And when Bo Nix started as a freshman for Auburn, he had that big win against Oregon, like his first game ever. It was electric.
I remember that game like it's the back of my hand because the next day, that same day, me and my cousin went up to watch Jalen Hurts first start at OU against Houston. Yeah. Night game. So I do remember that one. I got it saved, actually. Funny enough, I have the game-winning touchdown saved in my Snapchat memories.
Williams? Whew.
Yeah.
That was an all-time call by Chris Fowler.
It was.
I like that. But he goes to Oregon. He plays well. Did he go to Oregon when Dan Lanning became the head coach? Or was it before?
I believe it was the same year.
It was the same year?
Same year, yes. He spent, I believe, 3 years at Auburn.
I'm going to take Oregon.
Okay.
I'm going to take Oregon to win. They have a good defense, good rushing attack. Bo Nix plays well. Troy Franklin's a freak for a wide receiver. I think he's draft eligible too, so it's a name to watch out for. I do like Michael Penix. He's a good football. I just haven't seen Washington play too much, so I don't know. I'm gonna watch it this weekend. I'm gonna watch Washington play for the first time.
Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. I understand where you're coming from. I just think, Washington's got 3 NFL wide receivers as their starting 3. Michael Penix can put the ball on a dime from anywhere on the fucking planet, dude. His accuracy is insane. His deep ball's immaculate, and his touch is pretty good too. So,
I watched Washington play last year. Michael Penix,
very very similar team to who they were last year. Just a little bit better, a little bit more efficient, I'd say, on offense. I don't know they necessarily have the defense. I mean, they let Arizona score 30 something, but
who's gonna win the football battle? Like, is Washington's passing attack going to be too much for Oregon? Or is Oregon's just overall team efficiency going to be too much for Washington?
I think Washington's passing attack is so good it'd be too much for fucking like San Francisco, bro. They're insane. Like they're so good.
Hey, don't let
level.
the Cowboys game. San Francisco's backfield or their DBs aren't as good as they were prior year. I think
it's fair,
maybe
but
the suck.
I think Washington's got the most efficient, the most electric offense in college football, and I just think it's a little bit too much to handle for Oregon this time around. Now they meet again in the Pac-12 championship game. Might go Oregon's way, but I certainly see this swinging the way of the Huskies this weekend.
Okay, so it's you versus me on this one.
Yes, it is.
It's not Oregon versus Washington. It's you versus me.
100%. So next we got
Oregon loses that game.
We got Auburn LSU. I know LSU is your second favorite team. LSU is to you as Penn State is to me, pretty much. So, if you want to take the lead on this one, just kind of tell me what you've been thinking about LSU this far. I know their defense is like 11 Caspers playing out there. Well, 10. They got that one dude that should be rushing the passer but keeps dropping back into coverage and is an insane linebacker. But outside of that, I mean, their secondary is atrocious. So, what are you thinking about this one?
Well, it's at LSU, right? Death Valley.
Yes, it is.
Game.
Yes, it is.
I'm going to take the Tigers, minus 11. So Jalen Daniels is probably going to be in New York at the end of the year. He's playing well. Neighbors is a really good wide receiver, too. Their team is like gelling it together. This reminds me of last season, where they're not a very good team, but the SEC is just kind of having a down year, which might favor OU and Texas when they join. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm trying to think of the linebacker. Harold Perkins is the linebacker you're talking about.
Yes, that is him. Insane athlete. Insane.
Brilliant freshman campaign, but they're trying to use him in a different – he's a pass rusher. He's Micah Parsons.
No, exactly.
He's a better pass rusher. He can drop into coverage, but you know how Brent Venables plays like the cheetah position? Kind of hybrid safety, hybrid linebacker. I feel like that's what they're doing with Harold Perkins. But, I mean, I don't know. They've also got I can't think of his name, but he's a nose tackle. Oh, Mingo.
Yes. Is that Marcavius Mingo or something like that?
No.
No, he was the NFL guy, huh?
No, I can't. Dude, my brain is just – I just had a brain fart. But he's a good pass rusher for LSU. I'm going to have to take the Tigers on this one. It's in LSU. It's in Death Valley. The crowd's going to be electric. Much like the, Oregon-Washington game, that crowd's going to be electric. That's probably the game I'm going to be focused on the most is Washington versus Oregon.
For sure.
Yeah, if we're being honest. But I'll take LSU minus 11. I took a minus 6.5 last.
Micah Mingo. Or Mika Mingo.
There we go. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to take LSU in this one. I am going to take them to cover in my mind. Now, the over-under 60.5. I don't think that hits. Not because of LSU. I think it's Auburn. I don't think Auburn has the offense to be able to go step for step with LSU. Matter of fact, I don't think – you said what?
They have a good rushing attack.
They do, but, they can't throw the ball when they need to. Clayton Thorne's just not that good. So
don't let the Georgia game fool you because I got
it's the other 4 they've played.
I have an interesting stat. Okay. So 3 of the past 4 games that Auburn has played against the number 1 SEC team in Auburn, they've won. Yeah. So they beat number 1 Florida, and that was back in 2008 or 2009. They beat number 1 Alabama, that famous Chris Davis missed field goal return.
Chills every time I think about it.
Yeah.
I'm not even a fan of either team.
And then 2017, when Georgia was ranked number 1, that was the final game of the season for Georgia. They went into Auburn, and Auburn spanked them. It was like 48-24 or something like that. I don't remember the exact score. But don't let the
Auburn definitely historically plays up to their opponents. Like they're a very good team at taking advantage of the moment and just playing real tough in that environment. But this ain't the environment for them. It's not even a night game, I don't think, in Death Valley. I think it's a mid-afternoon, like 2:30 kick. Probably on CBS, I would assume. So you'll get the beautiful CBS college football music.
That'd be a really good night game.
It would be. I'm kind of sad it's not a night game. I think A&M Tennessee got the ESPN or the SEC night game though.
Who did?
A&M and Tennessee, or Florida, South Carolina, I forget. It's one of them two, but no, I mean I definitely think LSU's going to cover, but I don't think their defense is going to be the reason they cover. I just think their offense is just much too powerful for most teams, and I think they'll handle Auburn pretty well.
I still hate Brian Kelly.
Oh yeah,
have that it factor as a coach. Like, you think of coaches, you think of like Les Miles. You think of Nick Saban before he went to Alabama.
Yeah.
Coach O though. Coach O is definitely just wow.
Go Tigers.
Yeah.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. But playing really well. They also have a Thompson. Thompson's been making some crazy catches. He's like what Jaden Gibson is to Oklahoma.
Yeah. Big, tall guy, go out there and make a couple catches, and you don't see much of him. Yeah.
But, I mean, he's still a good receiver. Maybe Brian Kelly's just a really dumb coach and doesn't know his talent like he should.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm going to pick LSU on that one. I'm going to pick them to cover.
No, it's certainly a good pick. Moving on next game here. We're gonna fly all the way back cross country back to the Pac-12. UCLA heads to Corvallis, Oregon, to take on the Oregon State Beavers. Spreading this game, Oregon State's favored 3.5. Over/under is 54. I'll take the lead on this one. Dante Moore, freshman quarterback, 5-star, looks amazing, man. I mean, he's not lighting the world on fire, but he's doing what you expect out of a freshman quarterback, right? I mean, he's playing efficient. He's trying to take care of the football. He's learning as he goes. Fuck, dude, that Oregon State defense is wicked.
They're physical.
Dude, they're legit. I mean, it's
really good.
It's what Utah's been the past few years and what Utah still is. But, you know, DJ Uiagalelei is playing pretty well. They can run the ball pretty well. I just think Oregon's a bit too much for UCLA to handle. I think both teams are 4 or 5-1 coming in this game. UCLA obviously had that big win last week. But
that was crazy. We had questions about that game too.
We did. I thought Cam Ward was going to be that dude. I think the final was, 25-17 or something like that. Was at UCLA. It was a home game for them. But, you know, flying up to Corvallis, it's cold up there, man. It's hard to play up there from, you know, the way it looks like and from what everyone has always said. And, you know, they may get some rain too. It's going to be kind of all in that area, I believe. So I think everything just kind of points to the Beavs on this one. What do you think?
I don't know, man. I watched Dante Moore play like for a little bit last week. He looked pretty good. He did. I mean, don't let the stats lie to you. Like, he's pretty efficient. They didn't score a ton of points, but Washington State's defense is really good. I'm probably still going to go Oregon State. I mean, they're at home.
UCLA's defense has been pretty good too. I mean, they've been pretty stout. So I think it's going to be a slugfest, though.
You taking the over?
What's the fucking over? 54? No. When has DJ Uiagalelei and a UCLA team ever combined to make the over? Not going to happen. Taking the under in that one. But
okay, I'm going to take the over.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I can't wait to watch you eat your fucking words, man.
4.5? 50.
You're taking. It's 54.
Oh, 54?
Yeah.
All right. I'm taking it.
You taking Oregon State to win, though?
I don't really have like a dog in the fight. So
yeah, fine, but
I don't like for any of these games. Maybe like LSU, but I'm going to take the over in that one.
Mm-hmm.
I think both teams play really well. They're going to have a game plan, I'm sure, like offensively, because both defenses are good.
For sure. Moving on next. Oh my God, Mario Cristobal, what are you doing, man?
I think we should talk about that a little bit.
I think we should, dude. How do you not take a knee there, man?
So people were
Done it
posting.
before. He did it at Oregon.
Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. He did that at Oregon.
Dude, man. Definition of insanity.
The one at Oregon wasn't as bad as this one.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. And they didn't even expect to win the game.
You have a veteran quarterback that should know better.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, yeah, and you got the running back that shouldn't be fighting for extra yards there, but they should never have been put in that position in the first place, though, dude. I mean, honestly, though, if I'm Tyler Van Dyke, I see that going on, I'm a trip on my way into the backfield. Like, I'm going to go to hand it off, step on my own feet, and fall over. Like, we're not, bro, it's not happening. I don't know what Mario Cristobal's thinking.
Did they?
You said what?
Georgia Tech didn't have any timeouts either.
No timeouts. They snapped the ball under 40 seconds on third down. Play clock's 40 seconds. They won the game.
So that means Mario Cristobal.
I think Mario Cristobal thinks. What?
He made a bet on that game.
Had to have bet the over or something. But I think Mario Cristobal thinks he's playing NCAA 14. Like, he's playing a video game, bro. Like, you don't do that shit, man. But moving on to this week, I really think that puts Miami into a good spot, dude, because, I mean, they should still be undefeated. That should not have happened. They're going to be pissed as hell, and they're going to be ready to go out there and just tear the face off of Drake May and the boys at North Carolina. And I think they're going to fight their asses off, but hey, this game's in Chapel Hill. UNC's favored by 2.5. I'm going to take UNC and Drake May and the boys to cover.
I like it. I got to pay attention to this game because Drake May is a top prospect. He's going to be either number 1 or number 2 as far as like draft pick.
Oh, for sure.
Chicago, my beloved Bears, are going to have that pick. History, let's see if history repeats itself, because remember the last time Chicago...
A UNC quarterback?
wore number 10, by the way, and was picked
God.
Remember the last time Chicago had the number 2 pick, or they traded up for that one, but they picked a quarterback from North Carolina that wore number 10.
Yeah, how'd that turn out?
I mean, Drake May is obviously the better quarterback. Much better passer of the football. Also has a better football IQ. But,
I think Drake May's a stud, man. And I think his game, honestly, would translate a lot better. He's like Mitchell Trubisky, but I think, like he said, I think he's got a better mind for the game of football. But I think he's got a better skill set, a more polished skill set. But he's also played for 3 years. Mitch Trubisky played 13 games in college, or at least at the D1 level. So I think, obviously you want Caleb Williams.
Well, no, here's what I want. And I'm going to talk about this all season. What I want to happen, this is my perfect scenario.
Yeah.
I gave a perfect scenario like before we made this podcast, but I have a new one.
Okay.
So we keep Justin Fields. Okay. We fire Matt Eberflus. We talk to Sean McVay off from the bag. Just say, hey, listen, just for 1 or 2 years, come be the head coach for Chicago. We have this quarterback that we believe in. We've seen what you can do with quarterbacks. With the number 1 pick, we draft Marvin Harrison. And with the number 2 pick, we draft Brock Bowers. So we give Justin Fields everything he needs. He's got 2 good tight ends, two physical tight ends. DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison, Darnell Mooney. And then the defense, like you can draft defense in the second round and get some good guys.
Hey, Ben, you can get Quay Walker in the first. Devontae Wyatt.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Yeah.
He hasn't really turned the way that he was supposed to, huh?
Who, Quay Walker?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted Devin Lloyd, but that's also a shit show. So, hey, Quay's been a lot better, man. I'll tell you what, Quay this year compared to last has been a lot better. Now Devontae Wyatt still needs to play more, but that's a conversation for another day.
Quay Walker.
So what?
I want you to defend Quay Walker.
Hey, I think he's very. Don't piss him off. Don't piss him off when he's trying to help his homie up, man. No, I think he's very instinctive. I think he's got a good like head to find the ball. I mean, you see it like you look at the Atlanta game and not Detroit, but the Saints. I mean, he's good at locating the ball and he makes good contact. He can jar the ball loose. He's not very good in coverage, but I think he's an excellent run defending linebacker, especially if he's playing at the Mike spot. So now we certainly need Devondre Campbell like a motherfucker, but I actually don't mind Quay. Now, first round pick, fuck. But I mean, here's about this. Think about Quay Walker and who he is. Instead of him being drafted in the first round, what if he was drafted in the third round? Changes your mindset entirely on him, right? He's a good player. He's just not a first round pick. But just like people have told me before, and because I wanted Devin Lloyd. When we took Quay Walker, I wanted Devin Lloyd because A, I like Utah, and B, I thought Devin Lloyd is the best linebacker in that draft class.
That's that's Green Bay trying to be the Raiders, where they just take the weird pick.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think so far Quay's been better than Devin Lloyd. He's definitely been healthier, but I think if you take Quay in the second or third round, I think it looks a lot better on paper than it has so far. But I think it works out, and I think he's gearing up for a pretty good season. I think year 3 and year 4 are going to go a long way to telling us what he's going to be. But I think he's continuing to get better, and I think he'll be a top 15 starting middle linebacker in the NFL couple years, but he's got some work to do.
All right, there you go. All right, well, that was our presentation of Dalton defending another Packer that nobody else likes except for him.
Fuck you. So we're gonna move on because we got way off topic here.
Well, I'm also gonna take North Carolina to win that game.
Oh yeah. We didn't. Yeah. Taking UNC to win.
Yeah. I mean, I need Drake May to have a good performance because Caleb Williams is probably going to stay another year. If Chicago has a number 1 pick, Caleb Williams is not. He's going to stay another year.
You think so?
I think
you think his dad saying that shit is legit?
His dad's a bitch. Do you hear me? Caleb Williams' dad?
It's just like Odell Beckham Sr. He's a fucking punk bitch. Oh.
You heard it here first on the Pigskin podcast.
Facts.
Something about
it. Got UNC winning that game. Let's hit on a couple more here. Texas A&M, Tennessee. A couple of the quieter teams not getting a lot of love. Definitely got a lot of love in the preseason coming into this game. I mean, everyone was talking about Joe Milton and his fucking cannon of an arm and how he can sling the ball 90 yards just with the thrust of his wiener. You know what I mean? Like, everyone was all over Joe Milton. Obviously, he hasn't been bad, but he hasn't been what everyone thought he was going to be, which I think was too lofty of expectations to put on him anyways. I think he's been good, though. I mean, I don't know about you. I've listened to Josh Heupel talk a few times, as hard as it is to listen to him talk with that list. I'm sorry, Josh, man. I love you.
We love you, Josh.
Love you, Josh. Please, if you wouldn't mind it one day, you can always come back to OU and not hate us. You know what I mean? It was okay.
Podcast.
Yeah, come on the podcast. We'll talk to you. We might have to ask you to repeat yourself a couple times. We'll talk to you. That's fucked up. That's so bad. But no, I think, like Josh Heupel said, I mean, they want to get the run game going. They got a good little running back. And I think their down the field attack hasn't been bad. I think Joe Milton's been good. I think the receivers haven't been what they were looking for. I mean, obviously, you lose Jalen Hyatt. He's a great dude. I think he's going to be good in the NFL. I think he's going to be pretty good. But Squirrel White's not what everyone thought he was going to be. I think they just took advantage of a really bad Clemson team last year in the bowl game to kind of give a lot of people false hope, much like Florida State took advantage of a bad OU team, and LSU was just overhyped anyways last year and coming into this season. So,
that's one thing. LSU was like number 5 coming into the season.
Yeah.
You have high expectations for a Brian Kelly team.
That's a first mistake. But Texas A&M's been all right. They're 1 loss this season, 2 losses. They got 2 losses on the season, 1 to Alabama, 1 to Miami. both ranked teams. Obviously, Alabama isn't the same as they've been previously. I think they're coming back. I think they're on their way back to Atlanta for the SEC championship game. They should dismantle Arkansas this weekend, by the way. But I just don't think Texas A&M has enough in them. Now, if their front seven kind of takes control and dominates the game on defense, I think they can do really good. But I don't know that, was it Max Johnson? Is that his name? I don't know that he can necessarily, that offense can stand and strike with Tennessee like they would need to. The over-under is 54.5. Tennessee's favored by 3. I think the over definitely hits, but I think Tennessee wins by 10 to 17 points, somewhere kind of in that range.
So is it in College Station?
It's in Knoxville.
Okay, it's in Knoxville.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, A&M's defense is pretty good. So those are
been good.
Like the bag that Jimbo Fisher threw, or maybe
good.
Yeah, their defense looks good. David Hicks is probably going to start next year for them. He's a big dude. He was their number one get. I know he's not playing right now, but that's just going to add fuel to the already good, Texas A&M front seven. But I thought the front seven looked good. I mean, they had a chance to probably beat Alabama last week.
No, they definitely did. The offense kind of let it slip away. I thought their defense played well.
But Alabama's defense is good too.
Alabama's defense is very good. Dallas Turner is insane.
Yeah.
Top 5 draft pick easily.
Yeah. I don't really have a dog in the fight. Let's take the under.
Take the under?
Yeah.
Let's go. Well, who do you think wins, Texas A&M or Tennessee?
I think it's going to be probably like a 10-point difference. I'm going to agree with you on Tennessee.
Yeah.
Josh Heupel's a good coach.
No, he definitely is.
I mean, those boys are going to be fired up. I feel like that Florida loss is still kind of lingering behind that team.
Oh, for sure. Speaking of Florida, I mean, they're a team that's kind of rebounded. They're 4-2 right now, but no, I think Josh Heupel. As bad as it hurt for him to leave, and yes, we got Lincoln Riley. Yes, we went on that run of 6 straight Big 12, whatever happened. It hurt to see Josh Heupel leave in the way that he left. I know things kind of stagnated his last couple of years in Norman. Defense wasn't as great. His last season was, Trevor Knight's season starting that we went 8-5, just didn't look too good.
By the way, Trevor Knight because of that Alabama Sugar Bowl win.
Oh, 100%. But I mean, I think the time at UCF was really beneficial to him. I think he kind of found his footing as a coach and really found his offense. Funny enough with Dylan Gabriel. And then ever since he's been at Tennessee, I mean, he's brought Tennessee back from the depths of hell. You know what I mean? I mean, they were a bottom feeder in the SEC. The only game they could hope for was to beat Vanderbilt. You know what I mean? And they've kind of come back. They're consistently ranked within the top 20. Consistently playing good teams down to the wire. I think they need to get some things figured out on defense over the next couple of years to really become a contender. But no, I love Josh Heupel. I mean, obviously, he won the only national championship within our lifetimes for Oklahoma. So a lot of love there. Did a lot of good things as an offensive coordinator for us. Won a couple Heismans. Got, Sam sitting over your shoulder right now, and the reason he's got one is because of Heupel. So he's a great quarterbacks coach. But I think him and Joe Milton kind of just keep the train going. Like I said, I think they cover. I think they win by double digits against Texas A&M this weekend.
Yeah, I do too. A lot of people hated when Tennessee hired him to be the head coach.
Yeah. I don't know why, man.
Terrible pick, or that's a terrible hire. It's like, give the guy a chance.
Look what he's done with it. He's been good. Now he's had Hendon Hooker and Joe Milton, who are 2 pretty good quarterbacks, but he's got Nico Iamaleava.
Talk about that real quick, because on my QB hierarchy,
yeah,
I actually had him over Jackson Arnold in that class.
You're wrong for that one, but
I'm the realist here. Okay, I'm just kidding. I'm the guy.
But Nico's going to be good, man. I think this year to kind of sit behind Joe and kind of watch him work is going to be good for him. But he's going to be a fucking stud, dude. And if Tennessee get this defensive thing figured out, and don't even have to be great. I mean, if they can get like a top 50, top 40 defense, I think they can really start to turn some things around and challenge Georgia for SEC East titles. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree with you. You want to move on to the next game?
Yeah, I got 2 more I want to touch on. I want to hit Kentucky, Missouri, and then we'll finish up with Notre Dame beating the guts out of USC. So Kentucky, Missouri, man. Both teams coming off a loss after getting a lot of hype. They were 5-0 going in last weekend. Obviously, Missouri played a pretty back and forth game with LSU just to lose by I think 8 or 10, kind of in that range. They were up on them for a lot of it, and then Kentucky just steamrolled and ran Florida's fucking ass home, and then just got slaughtered by Georgia, which no one saw coming. I mean, we both thought they were going to cover. I mean, I think it was maybe just a little bit too much hype, but another guy. I mean, I love Mark Stoops to death just because he's a Stoops family guy. Kentucky was my SEC team. Now that OU is going to go there, Kentucky can go to hell, you know. But I think now Kentucky's favored by 2.5. It's in Lexington. It's at Kentucky. Over unders 50.5. I think what is it? Brady Cook and the boys in Missouri are going to be slinging the rock all over the field. But I'm gonna take Ray Davis, man. I think Kentucky's just gonna get back to who they are. I think they're gonna pound the rock. They're gonna wear Missouri down. Devin Leary's gonna make a throw or two when he needs to. I think Kentucky's gonna win. Again, spreads 2.5. I think Kentucky wins by 7.
I agree. That was literally everything you talked about was what I was thinking. But the wide receivers for Missouri, they got good. They've got. I'm pretty sure Luther Burton's still like leading in receiving yards.
Has to be.
Yeah. I mean, he's good. Theo Weiss is good. Missouri, good team. Their kicker leg.
He does. Dude's got a fucking leg, man.
Got a cannon.
That's the X factor for me is, if Missouri, Brady Cook and Luther Burton and Theo Weiss, if they really show up, I think they can have a big game. But Kentucky's pass rush and their front seven's pretty legit. You know what I mean?
They're still a good team. I mean, Georgia's they're much better.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're the number one team in the country for a reason. So, but yeah, like I said, like I'm sure you were about to say, I think Kentucky's just a little bit further along than Missouri is in terms of kind of building themselves up in the SEC East to kind of challenge Georgia. Now we'll see. I think Missouri has Georgia here in a couple weeks, so we'll see for sure on that. But yeah, my pick holds. I think Kentucky minus 7, or Kentucky's going to win by 7.
Let me ask you this: if the game wasn't in Athens, but instead in Lexington, do you think Kentucky wins
against Georgia?
Yeah.
No.
If it's in Lexington.
No, I don't think so. I think I think it's like 7 points closer, but no.
7 points.
Yeah, the way that Georgia looked. I mean, Georgia looked far and ahead, like way better than Kentucky. So
hours, man. Dude. They still got left hockey. And they're still a good offense.
Yeah, no. You got anything else to say though? You think any difference between Kentucky and Missouri, or pretty much just holding steady where you're at?
No, I like your pick. I agree with you.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's finish it up. I'll let you take the head on this one. Notre Dame USC, the classic Golden Domers versus the Trojans, man. Obviously, you think back to the Bush push. It's kind of one of the most famous plays in college football history. But I mean, these are two big time rivals for Notre Dame being an independent, man. What do you think? How do you see this game going this weekend?
So I thought about it a lot. Louisville has a really good team. They were also at home. Big game. Obviously, they're going to play past expectations. I watched that game in South California. USC did not look good. They didn't. Against Arizona, which is not a very good team. Notre Dame, so like on paper, USC like has the better offense in terms of like their skill positions. Marshawn Lloyd, Caleb Williams, and Brennan Rice. They've also got Lincoln Riley as their head coach, who's a really good offensive mind. So Notre Dame, when you look at this matchup, Notre Dame wins. When you look at the matchup, like overall team, and Sam Hartman didn't look great last week. I thought he was going to be like a top 3 quarterback because he was a veteran at Wake Forest, goes to, Notre Dame.
Right.
it just like you watch the first 2 games and it's like, my God, like he's just like exceeded expectations. And then Estime and Price, their 2 running backs, their rushing attack's really good, which they were held in check by Louisville last week. So on paper,
keep going. I'm gonna be right back, but you keep talking.
Yeah. On paper, it looks like Notre Dame's probably going to win the game. I know they're favored by 2.5. I don't know. I think I'm going to go with USC on this one. I think USC is going to win the game. They've got Caleb Williams. That's like the big reason why I think USC is going to win the game is because Caleb Williams.
Whoa. I left and you're talking about Notre Dame, and now you think USC is going to win this football game? Who are you, man? What the fuck, dude? We hate Lincoln.
Oh, just hear me out. Just hear me out.
Oh, my God.
You've seen Lincoln. Okay. Just hear me out. Listen.
I want to.
I don't think USC's in a good position, like, in the years to come. Because you kind of saw what was happening when he was at Oklahoma.
Right.
You get these top recruits. You know, he brought in Kyler Murray. He brought in Theo Weish, Jaden Hazelwood, all these top recruits on offense and a good offensive lineman. But Oklahoma did not look good. They were barely scraping by games.
Yeah.
That's the reason I think that they're going to beat Notre Dame.
Trending downward as the years go on.
They're trending downward. They're going to find a way to win. We've seen it before. They find ways to win even though they shouldn't win. It's going to be close. There's going to be a lot of points scored. Their defense is going to make Sam Hartman look like fucking, Deshaun Watson or Kyler Murray or something. But, yeah, I think the football gods are going to be in favor of Caleb Williams and Lincoln Riley. And listen, Caleb Williams, he's just a freak. He's a freak of a quarterback. He does things in the pocket that we haven't seen. I think they're going to who do I want to win? I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't care.
I have a dog in the fight. Fuck Lincoln.
Yeah. I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm an OU fan, as you can see, but I'm past that. I got everything that I needed to know last Saturday with that win against Texas. That's everything I needed to know.
That's a very good way of putting it.
When Oklahoma lost to Baylor in 2021, I wrote an article about how I wanted Lincoln Riley gone. And then the Oklahoma State game happened, and I was like, yeah, I want him gone more than ever. That's a game you shouldn't lose. Then he actually leaves, and you're like, wait, no, this wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You're all upset. But then Brent Venables comes, and it's a completely different mindset at that point. But I just don't have a dog in the fight. I don't hate Lincoln Riley. I mean, it happens all the time in college football. You leave. I mean, you look what Brian Kelly did with Notre Dame. I'm sure Notre Dame fans are just as pissed when he went to LSU.
How about that one? I think I'd rather Lincoln Riley over Notre.
And as far as like who's trending upward, I mean, it looks like Oklahoma's in a much better position in terms of like recruiting class. If you're an Oklahoma fan, that's what you wanted. You wanted defense.
Yeah.
But I still think that USC's offense is going to be too much for Notre Dame to handle.
So, A, I think you're wrong. But B, you're a lot better person than I am because I don't give a fuck what happens.
Tell them.
Leave my team like that. Fuck you, Lincoln Riley. I'm over it because just like you said, we're trending upwards. We're in a much better position than the Lincoln Riley team has ever been in or ever will be in until they get like someone like Jim Leonard or something to coach their defense. Right. But it's just dirty, man. I just don't like Lincoln, bro. I don't like what he did. He tainted the name Oklahoma, man. That's the thing that pisses me off the most is like you don't leave a place like Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? You leave. I mean, fuck Brian Kelly. You don't leave Notre Dame either, but you leave like.
Well, it's LSU.
Well, yeah, but
they're football guys.
Yeah, but Lincoln Riley arguably went backwards. You know what I mean? If you're looking at just power overall. Now, Brian Kelly did definitely jump up from Notre Dame to LSU. That's not a question. But, I mean, Lincoln Riley went from it'd be like if Saban went from Alabama to Auburn, right? Like, two programs, historically pretty great, clearly not on the same level, especially as of lately. not that OU and USC were rivals, but it's the same sort of like tier 1 to tier 2. You know what I'm saying? And it's just dirty the way he left. I know it's 2 years since it happened now, but and we are in a much better spot. I mean, that defense is legit, but I just don't. I didn't like USC before though. Like I fucking hated
Yeah, I didn't really do, to
before.
be
I
honest.
also hate Notre Dame. I've never liked Notre Dame. So it's like I wish they'd both lose, to be honest. But I like Marcus Freeman as a coach. I really do. So now Sam Hartman, as we always say, that's a beautiful man. He's so he's
Like,
so
Dad,
he's
how did,
so insane.
he was created in a lab.
Had to have been. He's like Captain America and Superman put together, bro. Just a perfect human. But no, I think look, now you really look at it, and I can understand where you're saying USC's offense is going to be too much. Notre Dame's got to be beat to shit, right? 3 games in a row where they've either been on the road and gotten their ass whooped, or it's come down to the wire, right? Um, got to be just getting tired of it. But I think they're back home. They just got the shit kicked out of them by Louisville. USC's been kind of sputtering, especially defensively. They're bad. You know, Notre Dame's offense has been bad lately. I just think Sam Hartman, you know, him and I think it's Audric Estime's Heisman game. Like if he was gonna win a Heisman, it's this week. You know what I'm saying? I think Audric Estime probably has 200 plus rushing yards this weekend. I don't see anyone outside of Bear Alexander that can tackle him by themselves on USC's defense.
Yeah.
Not even that they're not strong enough; they're just not well coached enough on defense. You know, they're not disciplined enough to be able to make those tackles. They're not physical enough. So I just think Audric Estime is going to run the ball down their throats. Sam Hartman's going to throw the ball when he has to, and he's going to make plays because USC's defense is just fucking terrible. And I just think I think Notre Dame's defense is going to be the toughest thing USC's seen all season. I think they're going to stiffen up. They're going to punch them in the fucking mouth. And I think Notre Dame's going to out physical the fuck out of UFC tomorrow.
You,
Um, and I think the under hits, the under 60 and a half, the under hits, Notre Dame wins by 10, at least.
it sounds like you know. It doesn't sound like you think.
No, I'm never wrong, except for when I'm wrong. Then I'm wrong. But I don't take the blame for that. That's the football gods treating me like shit.
Yeah.
I'm always right. Someone fucks it up for me. So
Yeah, that's due.
they do. They hate me.
All right.
I'm a
Well,
Packers fan. That's what it is.
I'm going to be paying attention to that game just because
Mm-hmm.
you kind of you want to know what's going to happen. Like, is USC going to actually stiffen up, or is it going to just be Notre Dame being too much for them to handle?
Now, I will. Sorry,
They're
I already cut you off. I will say, if there's a game on their schedule that USC's defense is going to look decent at best, it's this weekend. Notre Dame, 3 straight brutal games in a row, whether it's been a loss, getting their ass whooped, or it's been just a close dogfight. Their offense has been sputtering. If they can somehow find a way to bring Audric Estime's big ass down consistently, I think USC can win this game. I think they can hold them to 24 or less, which if you score, you have to score 40 to beat USC. I think Notre Dame can do it. But I don't think they'll have to score 40 this weekend, though. It's really, it's one of those things where it's like, you have to, this is the one outlier.
Yeah.
Against USC. So, no, sorry to cut you off, but I think USC can have a get right game on defense this weekend. I just don't see it happening, man. I really don't.
Listen, I think that Notre Dame is the better team. I mean, if we're being honest, just based on how USC's looked in the games that Notre Dame has lost, I think Notre Dame has the potential to make this like a really ugly game for USC. Just I know Lincoln Riley teams, they always find a way unless it's in a bowl, like playoff,
or
Tulane,
Oklahoma State or Kansas State or
yeah.
Like that. Yeah, no. So you're gonna take USC to win?
I'm gonna take USC to win.
Obviously, taking them to cover.
I mean, well, I don't really hope I'm wrong. It's more of this is gonna be a brutal schedule coming up for USC.
Oh yeah. I think USC loses 3 or 4 of their next 6.
Yeah.
I mean,
How they're playing unless somehow make a sacrifice or some sort of ritual to get their defense going.
Yeah. Oh, that's why he was fucking those briskets up, man. He had to make a rich. It was a sacrifice. That's what it was. I think so. I think that's where all the fucked up brisket came from. It was all sacrifice.
Let's smoke a brisket this weekend, and we can see if we can make it better than Lincoln Riley's.
And if Green Bay, if Green Bay keeps losing, I might smoke myself. Okay, so yeah, I mean, USC's next 6 games, they got Notre Dame in Notre Dame, obviously. Then they come back, they play Utah at home, go to Cal. Then they have Washington, Oregon, UCLA. Bro, they lose at least 3 or 4 of those games, right? They don't beat Oregon or Washington. Huh?
Based on how they played so far, I agree with you.
They don't beat Oregon or Washington. If Cam Rising's healthy and if he can play well, because he hadn't played all season. So if Cam Rising's healthy and can have a Cam Rising game, Utah wins, right? I mean, Cam Rising in Utah is the Kansas State to the USC now. So,
that's the tricky part with Utah. Like, they're trying to rush back Cam Rising. That's why it sucks he got hurt late last season.
Dude, I hate it so much, man. I love Cam Rising.
Because your season's now kind of on the line, like in terms of like a conference championship, because you just lost to Oregon State a couple weeks ago. Now it's like, well, schedule's getting tough.
Yeah,
kind of have to put him out there. Should they? What do you think? Should they play him as soon as possible, even if it risks injury?
I don't think so, unless. Here's the thing: it's on Cam Rising, and here's the thing, man. Cam Rising's not going to be an NFL quarterback, right? He's not going to be a starting or a star caliber NFL quarterback, at least as things look right now. He might be, the final pick of the draft, Spark Birdie type shit. He could be, but he's not a prototypical NFL quarterback. He doesn't have he's not going to be an NFL quarterback, right? I mean, I think we can say that fairly confidently. So this is his career in my mind. Now he could be a backup. He could be a serviceable backup for a long time. Think of Gardner Minshew, Matt Flynn, those type of guys, right? AJ McCarron, even,
Yeah.
But I just don't see him being a star. And so depending on how he views his future, and I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I fucking love Cam Rising. I'd much rather be wrong than right in this scenario. But I think depending on how he views his future, he could see this as his last shot at playing meaningful football, truly meaningful football. And I mean, he could just say, fuck it, man. Maybe he gets into coaching after this. Maybe he just is an NFL analyst or a backup quarterback, or maybe he does whatever. But, this could be his career here. So if he wants to lay it all on the line, which I know he's that type of guy, I think he definitely could. I don't think he plays this weekend against Cal, but, it just sucks when he tears his ACL. If he tore it in early season last year, yeah, that blows. But he's back ready for his final year, right? His final push. But now COVID year, medical red shirt, he could come back next year. You never know. But if we're being realistic here, I don't think he plays this weekend. I think hopefully he can get back and get ready for the USC game. I think that's probably his target. If he wants to play this season, he wants to play meaningful football. He's going to be the most rested motherfucker in all the NCAA. So, I don't know, man. I hope he plays, but I don't see it happening this week. But if he's not playing, USC wins that game next weekend. But if he is playing, and if he can be the Cam Rising we know, take Utah.
Yeah.
See, we're a week out, but
game when it
yeah, exactly.
Game.
But you got anything else you think on USC Notre Dame before we go on to our NFL games?
No, I mean, I think we've covered all the games that we are probably going to watch. I mean, OU's on a bye.
Texas bye. Only other one would be
he was on
State.
What was that?
The only one would be Kansas, Oklahoma State, but I think we kind of very well know how that game's going to go. So,
well, we might not. I mean, if Oklahoma State plays the way they played against Kansas State, it could be. They may cover. It may be a 2-point game. I don't know. Let's see if Mike Gundy has those boys fucking ready to play the Jayhawks. Who would have thought? We'd be saying that Kansas is going to be a tough team to play.
Yeah, I know. I don't know that Jalen Daniels is playing this weekend though.
No, I don't think he is. He's gonna be back in time for like the bigger games like Oklahoma.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But Oklahoma's on a bye. Danny Stutzman was on Pat McAfee and he was on Jim Rowe. If you haven't checked it out, definitely check them out. Those are great interviews, great personality. Apparently,
Sure.
on Pardon My Take too. Pardon My Take is one of my favorite podcasts to watch. If you haven't checked them out, check them out. Um, I'm pretty sure he said on the podcast on the Prairie that he was going to be on Pardon My Take. So definitely check that out. That's going to be an interesting interview.
That'll be sick.
Oklahoma, they've got some offensive line things that they need to worry about with Cade Matoria probably being out for another couple games. Andrew,
it's actually just a sprained ankle though.
That's good. It's good. It's on another break.
Yeah.
But Andrew Anthony's out for Oklahoma, season-ending injury, needs surgery. That's going to be a tough position to replace. Now Oklahoma's got depth, but I mean, he's looked really good when he's played. It's never easy to replace your number one receiver, no matter who you have.
Right. I mean, he's been a great deep ball guy. He hadn't even just been a deep ball guy. Like the quick out game, the quick comebacks. He's been very good running an entire college route tree. You know what I mean? So it's a big loss to lose a guy like him. But Emmett Jones is a hell of a wide receivers coach, and we're pretty deep there. So I think the natural first thought was Nick Anderson, right? Nick's just had a great season. I think he gets more involvement. But with that, I think Jaden Gibson gets more involvement. And I think Brendan Thompson gets more involvement. And who I'd personally like to see now, I know his career as OU has been, he hadn't played a whole lot, but LV Bunkley Shelton, man, let's put him out there. Let's let the old man see what he can do. I'd like to see him get some snaps and kind of see what he's all about. But no, I think it's going to be a big second half of the season for Nick Anderson. Like, I think it's almost Bolentnikoff level type shit in the second half of the season. It's going to set him up really well going into next year.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. The UCF game is going to be a big tell next weekend.
Yeah. Do you want to get into the NFL games?
Yeah. So are you kind of wanting to go through all of them, or you just want to make our picks?
Go ahead and list all of them. I'll be right back.
Okay, gotcha. So yes, NFL Week 6. So I'll kind of go through all the games, who's playing who, and the spread and the over/under. We'll start with the London game tomorrow morning. Not tomorrow. Holy shit, this is Friday. Sunday morning. Ravens and Titans. Baltimore's favored by 4.5. Currently at 8:15 on Friday night. Over/under is 42 points. Then we get into the Sunday mid or early day games. We got Minnesota at Chicago. Minnesota's favored by 3. Over/under is 44.5. Commanders are going to Atlanta. Atlanta favored by 2.5. Over/under is 42.5. Again, keep in mind all of these spreads and the over/under. This is as of about 8:15 Friday night. Seattle flying into Cincinnati. Cincinnati -3. Over/under is 45. Colts are heading to Jacksonville. Jacksonville -4.5. Over/under of 44.5. Carolina goes into Miami. Miami favored by 14. Pretty big spread for that one. Over/under is 47.5. I think me and Sebastian are definitely going to touch on that one. Miami's look pretty fucking electric this year now. A-Chain's out for the rest of the season, it looks like, so we'll have to see there. 49ers go into Cleveland. 49ers are favored by 9.5. Over/under is 36. Don't think Deshaun Watson's playing on Sunday. Last early day game on Sunday, we got the Saints going to Houston. Saints favored by 2. Over/under. Jesus Christ, 42.5. Pats go to Las Vegas. Vegas -3. Over/under is 41.5. Lions go to Tampa. Lions are favored by 3. Over/under is 42.5. Arizona heads into LA to play the Rams. The Rams are favored by 7. Over/under 48.5. Eagles go to the Jets. Eagles are favored by 6.5. Over/under 41. Sunday night football, the god awful New York Giants take the bus up to Buffalo to pay the Bills. Bills minus 15. Over under is 44. And then Monday night football, we have the Dallas Cowboys heading to LA to take on the Los Angeles Chargers. Dallas is favored by 2 with an over under of 51. Sebastian, what do you think about this NFL Week 6, man? What are you thinking? Just not even just our picks, just top of your head. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I'm interested to see how the Bears take on the Vikings. I hate the Vikings, obviously.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the game that I'm going to heavily favor. Probably going to try to watch. Kind of like the Seattle and Bengals game. The Seahawks go to Cincy, right?
Yes.
That might actually, I don't know. It just depends on, like, with my area, what game is going to be on. Miami taking on Carolina. That's going to be an important game to me because the Bears have the Panthers' first-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to keep an eye on that game. Is Andy Dalton playing, or is it going to be Bryce Young?
Ooh, I don't know. That might be why the spread's so big. Let me look.
It's probably going to be Bryce Young.
Yeah, I think it is him.
Okay.
Okay, maybe they're just that bad.
He hasn't been great.
No.
Well, I'm very happy. Yeah, thank you, Carolina. Thank you for the organization for giving us DJ Moore and your first-round pick.
Yeah.
You put Bryce Young, who could turn out to be a good quarterback. Okay, I hope so, just because of what you've done to Chicago's organization. I don't know if Justin Fields is still the guy, but like I said earlier, it'd be nice to keep him, hire Sean McVay, get Brock Bowers and Marvin Harrison Jr.
Hey, I feel you on that though. I want Matt LaFleur gone. So
Yeah, I kind of want him to stay.
I bet you do. I want him to stay for like third quarter play calling, but first, second, and fourth, I think he can fuck right off.
Yeah.
Um.
Our segment from last week is Jordan Love the guy. We're going to figure out. They have a bye week, but after that, we'll definitely figure it out.
I think he is.
You know what? All right, you go with your first pick.
First pick. All right. So, my first pick, we're gonna take a look at Vikings at Chicago. Again, Minnesota is favored by 3. Not necessarily looking at the spread on that one, but Justin Jefferson's down likely for a substantial amount of time. Alexander Madison's not necessarily a world beater at running back. Wide receiver core is okay. I mean, Jordan Addison's been well. He's played well, so they could definitely feature him a little bit more. KJ Osborne's not bad. Kirk Cousins, he's been all right. I mean, he fumbles the ball like every third fucking snap. So that's gonna be great when Green Bay goes to play Minnesota. But getting over under 44.5. I'm gonna take the under in Minnesota at Chicago this Sunday.
Okay. I'm going to take the over in the Bengals Seahawks game.
Okay. All right. I'm actually gonna take the under in that one.
Oh,
The Bengals haven't looked too great this year. Cincinnati's been pretty good. Cincinnati's been about what they were last year. So, I just think both these defenses are going to kind of show out. Not that it's going to be like a defensive slugfest, but over under at 45. Again, I'm gonna take the under in this one. Something's just feeling like a shitty day on offense, So
taking the over.
All right.
I think you're going to be wrong on this one.
I would assume so because you picked the over.
Well, I'm an overs guy, but I'm actually going to take the under. I'm going to take the under in the Dolphins-Panthers game. It's at 47.5.
The under.
Well, the Panthers defense is pretty good. They're playing good.
Yeah, I think Burns is pretty good,
Yeah. I mean, we'll see.
Backfield's pretty good.
They should have a game plan. I hate taking the under. Like in the NFL, I hate taking the under. But
Well, my next pick takes me that same game. This one I'm looking at the spread again. Miami, as of 8:15 Saturday or Friday night, is favored by 14. I think Bryce Young's playing. If not, that sways this entirely too differently. But I think Bryce Young is playing. Like I said, Carolina's got a pretty good defense. Now they are going to Miami. What that means, I don't necessarily know. They don't necessarily have the best road or home environment, but maybe now they do. It means so fucking good. I think Miami finally has kind of a slower day on offense. You know, Devon Achane isn't playing. Not that they necessarily need him to stop from scoring 50, but
well, Jeff Wilson's back.
Jeff Wilson is back. You know, but they also got Chase Claypool in town, so that's got to take 3 or 4 points off your fucking your total there. So I'm gonna take Carolina to cover in this one. Spreads 14. I hate when spreads are that big in NFL games. You know, it's such a now unless it's the fucking Broncos, Jesus Christ. But you know, it's a team like Miami taking on a team like Carolina, pretty good defense, good defensive backfield, like I was saying. You know, J.C. Horn, they got a good safety duo. I think they're just a solid team on defense, just all around. I'm gonna take Panthers to cover in that one.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna take Houston +2.
Okay. Is Houston playing against the Saints?
Yeah.
And I might take Houston outright in that one.
Yeah.
Not that it's my pick, but I just think, man, C.J. Stroud's been good. Tank Dell's been outstanding. Damon Pierce has been pretty good. So I just think they got to get things figured out on defense, which they will. Well, I understand looks pretty good. So
+2 is pretty risky.
It is. It is.
Like, always want to take the favorite in that one, but
yeah,
go with it. I think if they're going to lose, it's probably going to be by a point.
Yeah.
I can just see it happen. It's going to be the game where the witching hour on Red Zone is going to mean everything.
Yeah.
On the edge of my seat. I think I might go live for the witching hour.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So
maybe. Stay tuned. My next pick is going to take us down to Tampa Bay, Florida, where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led by Heisman Trophy winner Baker Mayfield, first overall pick, Baker Mayfield. They have a get-right game. They take not a get-right game. They don't necessarily need it. They're, 3-1 or something like that. But Lions are going to stumble. Baker's going to carry that Red River energy right into this game on Sunday. I think the Bucs are going to win. I think the under hits, though.
You bastard. That was my pick.
Yeah.
Damn it. Okay, I got to pick something else. I think I'm going to take Buffalo -15.
Damn it, that was my other one.
Was it? We got to pick something.
Yeah, okay. So Buffalo -15. Yeah, the Giants have just been bad, right? They still haven't scored an offensive touchdown in the first half, I don't think. Daniel Jones looks awful. The Giants defense hasn't necessarily been great.
Well, their defense did. They got that pick six.
That's what I'm saying. They haven't scored an offensive one in the first.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, I was definitely going to take the Bills to cover that one. But over under 44, you think that hits?
Probably just by Buffalo alone.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm thinking. Yeah, no, for sure. Now I'm gonna take a risky one here. This is the only game with an over under in the 30s this weekend. This is 49ers at Cleveland. I think Brock Purdy's starting to hear the noise that some people don't think he's a legit quarterback. You hear what Shannon Sharp said?
Well, that's crazy to me because he's obviously a top 10 quarterback right now.
Yeah,
he's playing.
He's playing great. Now, he doesn't have all the fucking tools. He's not going to kill you with his deep ball, but he's an accurate, efficient quarterback, and that's what you need to win in the NFL, especially when you have a defense like the 49ers or Christian McCaffrey. So, over under 36 in this one. Spread is 9.5. San Francisco's favored. Again, Deshaun Watson is likely not playing in this one, but I'm going to take San Francisco to cover the 9.5 point spread, and I'm going to take the over to hit. I think 36 points in an NFL game, man, it's just too light. I don't think the Browns necessarily get there, but DTR isn't isn't too terrible. He was bad. He was bad.
He's great in the preseason.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They just need to convince him this game doesn't matter, and he'll go out there and
He
he'll
was Oregon's quarterback before Bo Nix, right?
Huh?
DTR. He was Oregon's quarterback before.
UCLA.
Oh, UCLA.
Yeah,
Right.
he's the one where he was playing when CD had that insane catch in Norman against UCLA. It didn't count. He was on the sideline. But no, I think DTR is going to be okay. You got to try to get that running game going. Obviously, no Nick Chubb. His knee is still stuck in, wherever Pittsburgh, wherever the fuck he lost it at. But yeah, no, I think San Francisco's going to cover in this game, and I think the over is going to hit probably based off San Francisco's offense alone. I mean, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey.
Cleveland's defense is really good, but they're probably going to be on the field a lot.
That's the problem, and that's the thing is they are really good. Obo's been good, dude. Obo's been playing pretty good. It's opposite of Miles Garrett, but I just don't think their defense has enough. Or like I said, they're going to be on the field all fucking day. They're going to just start giving them points.
Yeah. Forgot what I had so far. So I had the over in the Cincinnati game.
Yes.
I've got
Buffalo minus 15.
Well, I had Carolina to cover, but you took that from me, you bastard.
And then you had the Texans to cover.
Yeah, that's right. Let me write this down.
Okay. Very, very sorry, guys. We're gonna get much better. No, we won't. This is always gonna be awful. We're gonna be famous or something. This is still gonna be dog shit.
These are blind dick pics.
They are blind dick pics. Never seen this dick before. Never seen mine either.
I was gonna take Tampa Bay to win that game, but I took the over instead. No, I didn't. I'm gonna take the over in the Falcons game.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the over.
Okay.
And so Desmond Ridder, he's playing better. Bijan is the running back we expected. I mean, will Kyle Pitts get there? Maybe. I mean, I don't know.
Everybody's put him on the plane. I mean, they don't throw the ball, so they might as well just leave his ass in Atlanta, right? Oh, well, the game's at Atlanta. They didn't tell him to stay home, right?
Maybe.
Might as well. Johnny Smith was playing pretty well.
So, Kyle Pitts could be a factor in this game.
For sure.
Because Washington has some rookie corners playing. Now, their linebackers are good. Their front seven's good. I mean, when you got Young, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, and you got Sweat, that's going to be like Atlanta. Their offensive line's got a lot to deal with. But I'm going to take the over. I think it hits 42.5. It's pretty easy considering that Washington's offense has been, way better than their defense so far, which is crazy to think.
Chicago.
Huh?
Unless they play in Chicago.
Well, Chicago's also a wagon on Thursday night.
Yeah, okay. I'm about to say, you better finish that sentence some other way. It better not be the end of your sentence.
That was their get-right game, so Chicago's now going to go on a tear. I know you're going to hate it. I'm sorry.
I'll end this fucking podcast. I'll never talk to you again.
I don't make the rules. I'm sorry my quarterback is better than yours.
Fuck you. No, he's not. No, he's not. Jordan Love is light years ahead of Justin Fields.
Okay, then explain.
Okay. Fuck. I can't, dude. You can't put me on the spot like this. Look, Justin Fields he doesn't have the same arm talent that Jordan Love has. I don't think he has the same processing power that Jordan has. But also, Jordan sat behind Aaron for 3 years. So you got to give him, half that's got to go to Aaron. You know what I mean? So he shows
better deep ball, though.
Justin does have a better deep ball. I will give him that. If Jordan Love had Justin Fields' deep ball, he'd be insane.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, Justin Fields is a better runner. Jordan Love's a pretty good athlete, though. He can get out there and run. He's not afraid to take a hit either. So,
he can run. I'll give you that.
but I definitely maybe not right now. Okay, maybe I was a little bit aggressive saying Jordan Love is light years ahead of Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields is probably the better quarterback just because he has more experience right now. But I think Jordan Love is like way ahead of Justin in terms of like potential.
Well, that's the thing is because he was drafted. Justin was drafted so high because of his talent, like his ceiling.
Yeah. So was Jordan. And Jordan,
Oh,
you
yeah.
take him in the first round.
Yeah, everybody said he was the next Patrick Mahomes, which is a crazy. That's like what people do.
Oh, that's completely unnecessary to put that even just to say that, but to put that level of pressure on him. You know what I mean?
No, that's true. It's kind of a bad situation because the Packers have been so blessed with QBs, Brett Favre and then Aaron Rodgers, and now you got Jordan Love. You hope he's the guy, but if he's not, or you have to make a decision now if you're the Packers organization.
That's the
Like,
scary part, and that's where we fucked ourselves. That's the problem with kind of the way the contracts and everything work in the NFL now. I will say, kind of looking at some cap numbers, the Packers are very young. I mean, they have the youngest offense in the NFL by like 3 years on average.
yeah.
Very young team. I love David Bakhtiari to death. I don't know how much longer he's going to be in Green Bay. I want him to retire as a Packer. Just so expensive, man. And for him not playing. Now, Rasheed Walker's been bad. Zach Tom had his worst game of his career, I think, this past weekend. So,
Well, that could be
he was going against Max Crosby.
that could be a potential draft pick for Green Bay. Is the left tackle out of Penn State?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I would love a first round tackle for Green Bay.
Yeah.
Unless like Caleb Williams falls to like 26, and then we'll take him. What? Not gonna happen.
That's
I think the Packers don't need to take a quarterback or a running back this year, or not a running back, a receiver this year. I would love the Packers to go tackle, number one, Billy Bowman early in the second.
don't do this to me.
Then,
No,
and then
it ain't happening.
Ray Davis,
Running back.
third round. Yes, we need a running back.
Power.
AJ Dillon fucking blows wiener. I'm sorry, AJ. I love you, man. You're the quad god. Quadzilla, bro. I love you to death. But you cannot break tackles anymore, man. How are you 250 pounds and just fall on the first point of contact? And I love Aaron Jones to death, but he's a running back. He's approaching his 30s. He's expensive. It might just be time to naturally move on. You know what I'm saying?
You said that he was the quad god, so I thought that was Saquon Barkley.
Well, Saquon Barkley's quad god. I messed up. AJ Dillon's Quadzilla. My bad. Quadzilla.
Okay.
I love AJ Dillon to death, man. But you can't wear number 28 like that as a running back and not be able to break tackles. At least break tackles.
That's a lot of pressure to wear 28 because who else wore 28 and was a stud?
AD.
Exactly. Yeah.
Jumpson now.
Dude, it's interesting because this is like the first time that both the Packers and the Bears have been in a situation where it's like, do we have the guy?
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, the Bears have kind of constantly been in that state since they lost.
Well, we'll leave it up to the people that watch this. Who do you think is in a better situation in terms of who has the guy? Comment.
Okay. Yeah. Let's have our three people that watch this podcast. Hopefully,
Don't come on. This is gonna blow up. Okay.
This is gonna blow up. We're gonna put this on like TikTok and YouTube Shorts. Who is the guy? Jordan Love or Justin Fields? Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah. Okay. So Texans to cover and also the Bills, and then I've also got the over in the Bengals game, Falcons game.
Yep.
I'm gonna take the Rams to cover -7. Now the Cardinals are frisky. They're like a frisky team. I mean, they've kept it close.
Yeah.
They're still a good team. If they lose by 7 to the Rams, I think it would be, 28-21 or like 31-24. They'll score some points.
Yeah, no. Josh Dobson playing well, man.
Yeah,
Solidified himself as an NFL quarterback. I mean, probably a backup, but not bad,
Kyler Murray, if you are listening, I have an offer. You can come to the Chicago Bears. We'll treat you right. You can take the promised land. Or If you're
You
tired
play
of
all
football,
the video games you want.
listen. If you're tired of football, you could just come to the Cubs and you can win us a World Series.
That works. I'd take that. I'll put my hand up for that one.
Tyler,
I need to fly the W flag in here.
listen. Just think about it, Kyler. Just think about it.
You and Cade Horton gonna take the Cubs to the promised land,
The Oklahoma boys.
sir.
Gonna happen.
And then for my last pick, gonna head up to the Meadowlands. Well, it's not the Meadowlands anymore. It's MetLife Stadium. But
To the Meadowlands.
we got Philly minus 6.5 against the Jets. I think Philly's gonna cover. I think Jalen Hurts and the boys are really gonna get things going. Obviously, they're getting things going. I think they've only got one loss, or they're still undefeated, right? No, they're undefeated.
Yeah.
They're gonna keep that thing rolling just right along. Jets aren't looking good. I think Zach Wilson kind of falls back to who he's been so far. But I think where this is going to start, I think Philly dominates up front. I mean, their offensive line is just the best in the league. Maybe second to maybe Detroit. But they have a really good offensive line. Obviously, they can run the ball on anybody. DeAndre Swift is a really, really good running back. Still don't understand how they got a fourth. How they got him for a fourth or a fifth or whatever they got him for. Now Jahmyr Gibbs looks like the dude in Detroit, so I can.
Well, so does David Montgomery.
And that's the thing. So it kind of works out, but it's like, how do you still not let him go for something a little bit more expensive? You know what I mean? But no, I definitely think the over under 41. I don't know how I feel about that. I'd probably lean the under just because I don't think the Jets' offense is that good. Now Zach Wilson's been better, but I think he kind of comes back down to earth a little bit against a pretty stout Philly defense. The Philly Bulldogs, as we call them. But no, I think Philly covers.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take the over in the Chargers Cowboys game.
Yeah, I feel like that one's kind of a given.
I think it is a given. That is my can't lose pick.
It's your lock.
That's my mortal. That's my lock for sure. That is a can't lose pick. The over's going to hit in that game. It's in SoFi. Herbert's going to show why he was a first-round pick. And Dak has a get-right game.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb is going to show the Cowboys why he is their number one receiver.
Going to prove the world why Jared Jones always takes Sooners in the draft. So.
Yeah.
Boy loves him some Sooners.
I like that over.
Okay. All right. Sounds good, man. Well, I think we kind of covered everything we were looking to talk about today. Do you have anything else you want to go over?
No, I think that's it, man. So really the only thing I'm going to be watching for the games that we talked about, college football, going to watch Red Zone, NFL, 7 hours of commercial-free football. If you don't have NFL Plus Premium is $14.99 a month right now. If you've got the extra funds to throw away, you wouldn't basically be throwing it away. You'd be watching Red Zone. You'd be having a great time. Football's at its peak right now. Well, it's not yet, but it just gets better and better.
And one thing with the NFL Plus, if you're a nerd like I am, and after your team loses and you want to watch the all 22 and make yourself throw up, you get about 10 minutes after the game ends. So
there you go.
All right. I think I got everything.
You're gonna watch playoff.
So what?
You gonna watch playoff baseball?
I might throw on some playoff baseball. Is there any games tonight?
No, but Sunday is So Sunday's the Rangers and the Astros, and I think Monday is going to be the D-backs and the Phillies.
Yeah, I might watch some playoff baseball. I have something to talk about on the next pod or our weekend review. But I think that's all we got for today. Again, this is Sebastian and Dalton. This is the Pigskin Podcast. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. And again, let us know in the comments. Who do you think, Jordan Love or Justin Fields? If you had to pick one quarterback right now, who would you take? So I think with that being said, I think we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. And let's have a great fucking weekend, guys.
Let's do it.
All right. See you.